Just in case you were not aware, dating in 2022 is stupid. Yeah. The biggest reason is that ghosting is so fucking normal now. It's disturbing. You know what ghosting shows? Cowardice, insecurity, inability to accept and understand your feelings or someone else's feelings. That's about it. Or here's another one. It shows dishonesty.
Something tells me she just got ghosted. So the first thing she decided to do was go on TikTok and complain about it. If she did not get ghosted, her video would not exist.
You can say that again.
If she did not get ghosted, her video would not exist.
So I'm meant to be going on a date with a guy tomorrow, and I said to him, hey, look, I'm plus size. I'm a proud plus size girl. I'm not self-conscious of my weight or anything like that. And he responded with, as long as you're not a whale, I will still go on a date with you. And I was like, what? Sorry? And I said, what's your definition of a whale? Because I was curious. I wanted to know. I didn't really, I just wanted to know. And he was like, as long as you're not obese. And after like a minute of not replying, he said, are you done being self-conscious? Can we move on? So I'm not going on a date with him anymore. I'm going to go on a date with my best friend instead.
Women love to talk about a man's height and a man's income, but when it concerns a woman's weight, women get offended. It's completely valid that he does not want to date somebody who is obese. And she is the one who originally mentioned her weight to begin with, to make sure he was okay with it. Honestly, what planet is she on?
Jupiter? Uranus?
Let's talk about how if a guy doesn't want you, you should never have to plead your case and try to convince him otherwise. Story time. Let me tell you about the time a guy dumped me after 2 dates and I spent almost a year trying to get him to love me. So we're going to call him Kevin, and he and I lived a few blocks away from each other in the city. We had a bunch of mutual friends. We had crossed paths. He asked me out. We went on 2 amazing dates, or so I thought. In my mind, they were 2 amazing dates. And then he called me and was like, Sabrina, I think you're really great, but I just don't think this would work out between us. What? Like, what? This can't be. This can't be right. This is a misunderstanding. There is a glitch in the system, and I will fix this. It is fixable. A few months later, there was a party and I knew he was going to be there. And so obviously I made sure to look amazing. So our eyes lock across the room. We move towards each other. We're flirting. We're talking. We end up making out at the end of the night. And I'm like, done, fixed. We are back on track. But no. I didn't hear from him after that. Nothing, not one word. And thus begins a pattern of every few months, us crossing paths, something happening, me thinking that, okay, now he knows. Now he knows that we are perfect for each other. And then not hearing from him, and the cycle continues. I got sick of it at one point, and now it was my birthday, and after a night out, a bunch of friends come to my apartment to eat some leftover cake and drink some vodka, and somehow he stumbles through the doors. And he makes a move, of course, and I'm like, no. I have self-respect now. I'm not doing that. I'm not messing around with you. So instead, I ignore like the 30 people that are in my apartment and end up taking care of him the entire night because I just have so much self-respect. And you would think that he would be a little bit grateful. That maybe he would realize, oh, Sabrina, like you are the girl for me. You're so wonderful and nice and you took care of me. Maybe he would send a thank you text. But no, I didn't hear from him at all. Time marches on. Now it's summertime. We are in the Hamptons. I'm with a group. He's with a group. He's always staring at me. I'm staring at him. Every time I see him talking to a girl, I honestly feel physically sick. I'm miserable the entire time. And at this point, it's been almost a year since we went on our 2 dates. And a friend of his is like, Sabrina, like Kevin really likes you. Like he likes you. And I'm like, he does? Like he really likes me? And she's like, yeah, but he can't commit. So what's the point? Like, what is the point? Who cares if he likes you if you can't do anything about it? It was a huge light bulb moment, and I realized that I'd been trying to get this guy to love me for almost a year now because I didn't really love myself. I didn't really value myself. And that was a big turning point for me. So I decided to start working on myself. He lost all appeal to me. A few months later, I started dating my now husband, and that was the end of that. And Kevin is still single as can be, breaking hearts left and right.
The way how women put so much emphasis on dates is very alarming to me, because ultimately they are just nights out, and anything can happen during that night, which makes it a good night or a bad night. But they seem to think that the night itself represents a bunch of factors that dictates future relationships or marriage. This chick was so thirsty after 2 dates. She was chasing the guy for a whole year, thinking she could prove herself to him. She thought just because he fooled around with her now and again, it meant that they were getting into something serious. But he just wanted to bone. She apparently found a husband eventually. I won't knock her for that. Hopefully she is not an alpha widow, and he is not a beta box male.
But he is.